Hey guys, today I will be doing a cash stuffing for the very last paycheck of May, and if you've been following closely, you will know that this one is a super duper tight budget. So we'll do it in a little bit of a different format because this is honestly going to be super quick, and that way I can get through the cash stuffing, and if anybody else wants to really hear what's going on, you can stay. I'll open up and be a little transparent with some stuff that's been going on. But so yeah, let's get into the cash stuffing portion. It is $170. If you are familiar with how I typically do things, and you probably have an idea of where this money's going. So 50, 100, 120, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. So super, 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 super duper quick cash stuffing, like quite literally maybe the fastest cash stuffing. But I like to keep it real on this channel. Yeah. I mean, some things aren't mine to share, but yeah, I've been trying not to say too much, but I mean, it's starting to impact my budget, so I'm gonna share with you guys. But first and foremost, I'm going to pull the change out and all that stuff from my wallet. I do not have any more rollover, but I do have 96 cents. I remember that amount because I was super bummed when going to the store that it was whatever and 4 cents. And I was like, seriously? That's so annoying when you don't have change on you. So you had to break $1. But I don't have any rollover. I use it to take care of purchases and zero out my budget so I could start this pay cycle with a clean slate. So my wallet, I put in cash for groceries for the next 2 weeks. This should be 140, so 50, 100, 120, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So, and then, can anybody guess can anybody guess where the rest of the money is going? I'm trying to be realistic and give myself some room here in my budget. So Allison, the rest is going to Allison. So this should be 30. I like to break it down, so I can do cash on stuffings easier. So 10, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So that quite literally is all of the cash that I have in this 2-week pay cycle that I will be stuffing. And so let me pull out my budget sheets and kind of tell you what's going on. Okay, so I made some space here. Okay, so I wanted to do the budget with you guys, and I hadn't done one in a while, but this pay cycle was a little bit different where I needed to consult with Joe a bit more. We were going back and forth as I was writing up the budget. So first, let me explain a little bit, and then I'll kind of go into detail. So after everything is deducted, insurances, what do you call that? Renter's insurance, 401k, which right now I'm not contributing much at all because my focus now is debt. But my take home was $1,269.87. I like to budget a zero-based budget. So yeah, the next thing that I have down here is my portion of rent, and then electricity is much higher because Joe asked me to cover his particular portion. So 108, and then I have a monthly subscription, Chat GPT, 2120. So for now, we're keeping that subscription. Usually on the 30th, I have Amazon Prime come out. I canceled that subscription. Prime, Amazon, I have a lot of bones to pick with them. So anyways, That's not what this video is about, but I mean, I just want to be super real with you guys. Firstly, my paychecks are tight as it is while I'm getting out of debt, especially the paycheck in which rent comes out of. But yeah, this is real life, so maybe someone can relate, but I don't know. So all of these things right here total up to $601.70. So I subtract the 601 from from my income, and I have $668.17 left. So I skipped over this part because I knew I wasn't going to be able to cover the full portion. So I came up here first to see, and I stuck to the bare minimum. If you remember my last pay cycle, I doubled up on things like household and Sam's Club and car insurance. I was doing that so I could prepare, and knowing that in general this pay cycle was going to be tight, it ended up being tighter than I had realized. But anyways, you can see, groceries and my go-free spending is 170. So once I knew that, I subtracted 170 from 668 and 498. Sadly, as you know, my goal had been to do $600 every paycheck as extra payment to student loans. As I'm on the tail end of my debt-free journey, bummer, 498 is all I could swing. So I'll just have to make up for it other times, and in the next coming weeks it should be better, I guess. But so I opened up a little bit last time that things weren't good with Joe and his job situation, and now it's starting to affect me. Like,
this portion of the video is a voiceover. The remaining half of the video that I had previously recorded was going into a lot of detail, and the more I thought about it, it just wasn't sitting right with me, because it just wasn't my place to share the amount of details that I was sharing. In the future, I will be showing Joe's debt journey. Like, he's okay with me showing you the numbers and like showing like how I'm budgeting his stuff and that sort of thing. Like, that was previously discussed, but as far as like what's been going on with him right now, that wasn't previously discussed or okayed, and I didn't feel right. So I'll share enough detail so you kind of have an idea of how it's impacting me financially, like with his situation that he's dealing with. So a few weeks ago, I did share my excitement of him starting a new job. He's in the trucking industry, though he hates it and wants out terribly. He is in that industry right now. It's really hard to get out of that industry. It's like you get put into this box once you go into it. But I shared kind of like why he went into that industry many years ago on my channel before. But so he was going to be starting this job weeks and weeks and weeks ago. So he had asked to borrow money from me, and I gave him money because he was anticipating like, okay, cool, like I'm going to collect a paycheck soon from this new job that I'm starting, and then from there, like, I can get my feet on the ground, so I'll be able to pay Allison back rather quickly, like, was his mind frame. So I gave him $1,000, and I pulled that out of my high yield savings, and I'm really happy that I am budgeting, because years ago I would not have been able to do that, like if I just wasn't budgeting money and being careful about things. So, that's been making me nervous all along. Like, my safety net is now gone. So I'm doing the Dave Ramsey method, where I'm doing where I do my $1,000 emergency fund, like my starter emergency. He ended up getting let go of that job. All of the things were happening weeks ago with the tariff scares in China, and it was impacting the trucking industry. So he lost his job. So he was only there long enough where he collected a paycheck, maybe two. Actually, he might have been there for a few weeks, but anybody that knows that loses a job, and if you are starting to get behind on things, like, it takes you a minute to get your bearings back, to like get things in order, and then be able to like have the money to throw at your debts again, like really throw them. So he was starting to get to that point where he's getting his bearings, and that's when he lost his job. So he's been having a tough time ever since, like, with jobs ghosting him and recruiters reaching out and saying, like, let's get together and chat, and then they just go away. And that's very bizarre for the trucking industry. It's a lot different than corporate. Like, corporate, you get an interview, you get, like, you do 3 total or something, and it's like over a span of a month, and then you finally get the job. Whereas trucking, pretty much you could start a job within the same week that you got your first initial call with a recruiter or something. So needless to say, things have been a bit tough out there, a lot tougher than he anticipated. And fast forward to now, this pay cycle that I'm in is, I got paid the very end of May, as this cash stuffing shows. And so he just finally started a job. Today's Tuesday that I'm talking to you guys. Just started a job yesterday, Monday, which I think was the 9th of June. We're still in the same 2-week pay cycle for me. But leading up to that, things were getting a bit tough, and behind the scenes I kept asking him, you know, do you need me to pick up some slack right now? Do you need me to cover your portion of rent? You know, do I need to cover utilities? And so the answer was always no, except recently again, in this pay cycle, he had asked me to cover the utilities. So the utility that popped up this time around was electricity, so I paid for the full bill and didn't split that with him. And instead of asking me to cover his portion of rent, he just asked me for $450. So I took that out of my high yield savings as well. And basically that money was mostly money from vacation, etc. So he is going to be paying me back. He just started a job yesterday. Didn't really get a chance to talk to him. His schedule is completely opposite of mine now. So it's a little nerve-wracking for me because my safety net is now gone. So, like, I've had a lot of angst the last several weeks because this has been going on since, when did I give him that money? I want to say early, like, beginning of May, or maybe the very end of April is when I gave him that first initial $1,000. And yeah, so I've been on edge lately, but so that's where we're at now. He started his job, positive vibes that things go well. It's just, like, really scary. Like, if he's struggling in this industry, like, I don't even want to think how hard it is to get into other things. So without sharing too much detail of all of the terrible things that he's gone through, I really feel for the guy. It's really dehumanizing right now. So if you're listening to this and you don't have a job and you're trying, like, I see you, I understand, and just keep pushing forward. And all I can say is networking definitely helps. I've been hearing that a lot, and I wholeheartedly believe that's kind of the key thing right now into getting a job, because I've seen this man apply to hundreds of jobs, and just even in corporate too, and you're not hearing back. So knowing someone that's in the industry or in the job definitely can help thrust you forward into a job. So I'm wishing everybody luck, and thanks for listening.